about to participate in your very first sock war, and you might need some advice on how to win that war. Well, today, I have a few tips on how to win a sock war. First, you're going to need plenty of socks. Where do you get these socks? Well, socks are provided for you in the sock war from prior wars. Some really good smelly socks. But you're going to want to bring your own socks as well, just to ensure you have enough firepower for the war. Where do you get these socks? Well, one, don't bring in your brand new fancy Nike socks that cost like $20 a pair, because I'm telling you right now, any socks donated to the sock war are never returned. Okay? So what socks do you bring? Well, go to the back of your sock drawer and find those old, gross, disgusting socks filled with holes that somebody probably told you to throw away a long time ago and you never did. Those are the socks suitable for the sock war. And not just your socks. Do the same for all your family members too. Go through their sock drawers or ask them to do that and get all their old socks that they were supposed to throw away and never did. I'm talking brothers, sisters, moms, dads, grandparents, uncles, aunts, everybody. The more socks for a sock war, the better your chances at winning. Okay, so you got plenty of socks. Now what? Well, what types of socks do you want for a sock war? Most importantly, you're going to want socks rolled into a good ball like this, a nice solid sock ball. This is your main firepower for a sock war. You need lots of these, and you might want to practice before the war on how to roll an efficient, solid ball for a sock war. If you take too much time, or if it's too small, too loose, it won't be suitable for the war. So practice that, and maybe even have some ready for the war. If you're rolling up socks in the middle of a battle, you're going to get hit, and it won't end well. Very important. But you need more than just this. You're also going to want to have several rolled up socks, kind of rolled up into sort of like a sling kind of thing. Why do you want this? Well, for close combat. In the sock war, the trenches will be breached and they will come over the top of the trenches and they're going to be right next to you in close to close combat there. And what do? Well, one of these will be perfect for hitting the enemy. So you definitely want a couple of these ready to go. And don't throw them. If you throw them, you're not going to have them when you need them. You're going to be tempted to throw these awesome things, but don't do it. That's what you have the other rolled socks for. Use this for close combat only. What else do you need? Well, you want lots of loose socks too. You want lots and lots of them all around you. Why? Bombardment. What is it, bombardment? Well, you're going to learn about that when I teach that to you during World War I. But generally, it's like a massive attack where everybody's throwing all their socks at one time. Mass bombing all at one time. So you want a lot of loose socks for that as well. Okay? Any other types of socks do you need? Yeah. You want some foul-smelling socks. Socks that are perfect for a poison gas attack. How do you do that? Well, there's a couple ways. The best way is have an older sibling wear their gym socks every day for 2 straight weeks before the sock war. Don't wash them, and then just use those socks. Can you imagine that smell? Just walk into a locker room and picture that times 10. That's the kind of smell I'm talking about. Another idea is something like this. Get a mason jar, put a perfect ball socks in there, open the jar. You might want to start this about 3 weeks before the war. Open up the jar, then fart in the jar, and then seal it up immediately. Holding all that fart in the jar, just marinating those socks over and over again. The next day, open it up real quick, fart again. Don't smell it though, please don't smell it. Just fart again, close it up, and do that every day until the sock war. And when you open up that jar the day of the sock war, right before the war, can you imagine what those socks are going to smell like? A perfect poison attack. But understand, the other side is doing the same thing, so be ready for that. Okay, so that's all you need to know as far as firepower for the sock war. Now what else? Strategy. You're going to need a good strategy to win a sock war. How do you do that? Well, there's a few things. One, don't fight a sock war alone. Fight a sock war together with your troops. Come up with a good strategy. Decide who's doing what at what times. Who's going to be the front line. Who's going to run to no man's land. Who's going to stay back. Who's going to be the medic. Have all this stuff decided beforehand. You don't want to be that one rogue soldier out on your own deciding to win the whole war by yourself. You're not going to do that. The only way to win a sock war is with the help of all of your other troops and your allies on other teams. So you definitely want to make an alliance with another team to ensure that you win the war. More strategic tips? Have only your sneakiest soldiers, like your smallest, sneakiest soldiers, as the ones that breach the top and go into no man's land. You're only allowed about 2 soldiers in no man's land at any given time, and you want them to be your sneakiest, quietest soldiers so they don't get caught. So they can go over the top of the other side without them ever knowing that they were ever there. That's a smart thing to do. Another thing, have some soldiers in charge of getting socks and supplying all the other troops with the socks. Some supply guys or girls. Have them set up so they can just run around and finding all the loose socks that were used in the battle and keep providing those to all the soldiers so they can keep fighting without having to look for socks or roll up socks. You know, if they're in the back just rolling up socks the whole time and then providing those to the soldiers in the front lines, that's a really efficient way to make sure that you're never out of socks and can keep bombarding the enemy. Another idea, don't have all of your soldiers in the front line right at the base of the trench. Have some backup lines so if they get knocked out in the front, they can't just rush the wall. You can have some backup troops there ready to continue to fight. It's a good idea. And finally, for strategy, have at least 1 or 2 medics there so they can take care of the injured soldiers. There are going to be injured soldiers. You're going to get injured in this war. And you don't want to be left and sticking around the trenches getting in everybody's way when they're trying to fight this war. So you need some medics to help them out and get them out of harm's way so you can continue to fight and then take care of those soldiers, the ones who got hit and injured, so they can get repaired, get back to health, and then come back to fight again. Very, very, very important. Also important, make sure your medic doesn't get hurt. If your medic gets hurt, then what are you going to do? True? Okay. Finally, what else is there? Oh, I'm forgetting the just most important thing of this entire thing, and that is have fun. If you're not having fun in a sock war, I don't know what's going on. Win the sock war for 7A, do it. Thank you, guys.